Great day, kings and sisters from another mister. Welcome back to the latest and greatest of the BMCMC, the BlackManCan men's channel. I'm your host, Frederick Harper, and without further ado, I wanted to get into a topic today, and I wanted to get some feedback from y'all. The topic is, should men be responsible for 100% of the bills? Okay, now this topic was inspired by a video clip I saw recently, which I'm going to let y'all look at, audio at least, where Lisa Raye and Trick Daddy being a rapper, Lisa Raye being a actress from a while back with a movie called Players Club, which was the big thing probably 30 years ago. Long story short, they were having a discussion, and he was giving his perception. He said that the man should be in charge for the lump sum of the bills, the majority, and she felt the man should be in charge of 100% of the bills. So I'm going to let y'all hear the conversation, which is pretty brief, and then I'm going to come back on the other end and give you my 2 cents as well as my view and a logical stance of what you should expect as a man and as a woman in a relationship in this day and age. So without further ado, let's get into it.
So remember this. I feel like this. I feel like a woman and a man should not be together or stay together if the woman ain't being the woman. Okay. Because a man could be a man or you really a woman is what am I saying. But I think the man is supposed to pay the bulk of the bills, take the bulk of the responsibility, and the women is supposed to make sure that man is happy, able to go out there and get that money and come home and take care of his family.
Well, you threw me off when you said the bulk of the bills.
I mean, like the mortgage, the shit you pay.
I mean, he paying the bills is what I'm saying.
Well, you gotta get something, Lisa Raye. You gotta get the light bill.
Giving them ass. What do you mean?
The water, but he giving you dick.
Right, but that's supposed to be. Let's take it back biblically. Biblically, the man is supposed to be the provider and the king of the household. Now, the wife, the woman, is supposed to be the mother of the household. She takes care of the house. Now, we new millennial women, so that's a bonus that we get.
Okay, so
you gotta be evenly yoked. The hustle gotta match the hustle.
I'm gonna tell you what get off thrown when it get thrown off.
You pay the mortgage. You can't ask me to pay the light bill because I pay the mortgage.
I'm gonna tell you what get thrown off. I'm gonna tell you what get thrown off.
Damn thing. That's what I say.
When you're sick of me, you gonna tell me to get out.
I should not be sick of you because you're supposed to be doing everything that you're supposed to be doing.
So let's go back.
Make me do what I need to be doing.
Let's go back to the Bible. Let's go back right after the Bible. Let's go back right after the Bible.
I think we need to go to commercial because I think I need to get you together.
No. Let's go back right after the Bible. Right after the Bible.
Okay.
Did your daddy pay for your wedding?
No.
See, that's where I f***ed up at right there.
My father was not living. That's why.
Okay, so.
But it would have still been $1 million wedding. Believe that. Okay.
Now, here's the thing. The father is supposed to give their daughters away.
Okay.
To the man. And the man is supposed to, at that point, take care.
on all the responsibility.
Okay.
And my father was a king, and I
now,
was a princess. Right now, I'm a queen, so you got to come with it.
Okay, so now.
Okay. So, as you saw there, you heard Trick Daddy said the man should be in charge of the lump sum of the bills. In turn, Lisa Raye said the man should be in charge of 100% of the bills. Now, I've told y'all, if you've watched any of my content before, I do not think 50-50 works in a relationship with a man and a woman, because the man is traditionally supposed to be the provider, the protector, and the securer. And therefore, by default, he is supposed to pay the majority of the bills for things to work the right way. That's just my personal opinion. I've tried 50-50 before. When a woman has 50% of the bills on her back, it just takes her out of her feminine energy. She feels like she has to kick in too much. And sometimes that can be a lot on a woman, which in turn will affect the relationship. And as a man, if you paying 50-50, I feel like you're going to have an 80-20 kind of power structure. And she's going to be getting the 80. So that's my personal belief. However, Lisa Raye went a mile further by saying the man should be in charge of 100% of the bills. And ideally, most men would like that. They would like that, and women definitely, whether they tell you or not, they want that. Okay? And I can remember the late, great Kevin Samuels asking women, if you have a child by a man, what percentage of the bills do you want to be responsible for? And there was always this hesitation, this backpedaling, all this. And most women said, I would do 50-50, I would do 30%, but the real answer was nothing. Nothing. In an ideal world, most women, not all, but most women do not want to have to pay for anything. And the fact of the matter is, even though the majority of women are working now and the modern woman is getting the bag, because of hypergamy, the average woman is looking for a man in a better position than her financially. So to women, that matters more. It should, it has always. So for example, if a woman has a good job making, let's say, $75,000 a year, she's looking for a man who's making $150,000 a year. Because in her mind, she's saying, my money is for me. A man looks at it and says, I'm working hard to secure money to take care of my woman and children, to take care of my family. The woman instinctively wants to get her money for her. Maybe her children, but your children are intrinsically connected to you. So we're going to leave that out. Most women in the affirmative would like to have their money for them, while men are raised and brought up to understand that as a man, and I'm not talking about gigolos, I'm not talking about moochers, I'm talking about as a man, you want to be able to take care of everything financially. Now, we're living in a day and age where it takes two incomes to make a family work, so it doesn't work that way most of the time. But that is what a lot of women are looking for. And I thought about the situation as far as the traditional woman, traditional man setup. That was how it was. The man took care of the bills, he worked, slaved, came home, paid the bills, and the woman in turn nurtured, took care of the family, did domestic duties, and basically encouraged and lifted up her man so he can make it day to day. Now, it's not that way anymore. Women have been empowered. Women are working. Women are making, some of them making more money than the men. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But you have to understand that in this new reality, you're not going to get somebody who's going to pay all the bills as a woman. Okay? You're going to probably be splitting bills with the man. Are you okay with that? And brothers, your woman is going to be out here working. That means as a woman, she's going to be away from the children if she has a full-time job. That's going to be 8 hours a day she's not with the children. There's going to be 8 hours a day she's not doing anything for you. She can't do any extras for you. So that will translate into the relationship. But if you need that money, that's what has to happen. And that's what the majority of relationships are. It's the man and the woman are working. See, we have this concept that, everybody is balling. No, most people are really hurting right now. Okay? So when you think about it, I just did a little bit of statistical research. The average family of 4, that means man, woman, and 2 children, is making an average of $67,000 a year. That's what it is. And that's white families. When you're dealing with black families, it is substantially less. When you talk about the average salary of a man, the average white man makes about $58,000. Average black man makes about $43,000. So you already at a deficit. If you're a black woman, you trying to deal with a black man, they are actually going to be making less than the white counterpart. And the same thing for white women versus black women. White women average $48K, black women average $40,000. So there's a disparity in the income. So to bring it full circle, we need each other. But for the men out there that are in the position to pay all the bills, let me tell you this, shorty. If you don't have feminine energy, if you are not taking care of your body, if you don't have any domestic skills whatsoever, if you are not good in the bedroom, if you are not submissive, then he's not dealing with you. No man making 6 figures that can handle all the bills and take care of everything is dealing with somebody who is combative, argumentative, wants to fight you at every turn, and has to pay all the bills. That's just crazy. So we have to look at society from what it really is. And I think Lisa Raye's expectation was beyond the pale. In addition to that, she said something about, oh yeah, you know what? He should be paying the bills. I'm sleeping with him. Let me tell you something, ladies. Just so you know this. Yes, sex is very important to men. But if you are in a committed relationship, sex is not enough. It is not. Men are looking for uplift. Men are looking for submission. Men are looking for beauty, femininity, nurturing. Your sex is only going to take you so far. As I said in a previous video, sex will get a man. It will not keep a man. Okay, so we have to take that into account as well. And the biggest part of that bothers me is the fact of the matter is sex is an equal exchange. Okay, it's not some treat that you're giving the man when he does whatever you want to do. And I think society has culturally conditioned us to think that way. I mean, number one, prostitution is the oldest profession in the world. So since the beginning of time, women know that men will pay, men will give gifts, men will go out of their way to get sex. But in the long term, if you want to be a wife, if you want to be a mother, you're going to have to bring something more than that. And that's something y'all ladies got to really start to figure out. Sex is not enough. So in closing, I just wanted y'all to think about what it is that you as an individual are bringing to the relationship. You know, man and woman, what are you bringing besides just the bare bones? Because it's going to take more than just money and sex for a relationship to function the way it's supposed to raise children, to have a family that is successful. It takes both partners kicking in more than just money and their body. Okay? If not, you can just be boyfriend, girlfriend, or you can be a side chick or whatever else. But if you are committed to having relationships, black men, black women, men and women in general, sex is not enough and money is not enough. Okay? So that was my part on that. Another area I wanted to address when talking about bills and men and women is we need to get past this concept that worth is connected to money when it comes to a woman. It is more so connected to a man because the men are seen as the providers, as the securers, as the ones who are going to pay the bills and etc. in the traditional sense. For men, and I mean men, not moochers, not gigolos, but men. For men, we do not see value in a woman just because she has a job that makes a lot of money. To me, that's like the equivalent of a man coming up to a woman and saying, I have every pair of Jordans that has been produced since the beginning of the Jordan brand. I mean, you're going to be like, that's nice for you, but that doesn't really do much for me. And just like I said earlier, the reason it doesn't do much for a man unless he is mooching off you or you are providing his every need financially, the man doesn't look at it that way. He looks at value, not worth, but value in nurturing, in femininity, in submission, in domestic duties, in uplifting him, in putting and pouring energy into the relationship. That's what a man values. He does not see value necessarily in your career, in your profession, because that's not the traditional role men have been brought up to think. Okay? So now we have the modern woman that makes a lot of money, and she connects that worth to value. So the concept is basically, I'm worth $150,000 a year for what I do, so I should get a man that's making $500,000 a year. No, that's not how it works, because the man that's making $500,000 a year would rather marry the cashier at Wendy's than deal with somebody who makes $150,000 that's going to give him stress, arguments, combative behavior, and be all concerned about themselves and their own career. So that is where I think the rubber hits the road with men and women. We can do it together, but the men that some women are looking for that are in the upper stratosphere of financial earning do not care about how much money a woman earns at all. So we need to get that clear. Men care about femininity, love, nurturing, domestic value, and uplift. That's what they care about, okay? So we can stop that. For women, it is definitely connected to value when a man has a good salary, a good career, can provide, because that's the traditional role. So that's where I see the rubber hits the road. I believe we can do it together. We should do it together. And the average couple out here is not millionaires. They are making it work on an income of about $67,000 a year. So we got to stop this cap, stop this fake notion that everybody is out here making a lot of money and the expectations are through the roof. We need to get back to reality. And if you want to be a mother, you want to be a father, you want to raise children, then you have to live within that reality. And not for nothing, Lisa Raye is 50-some years old. And I checked her background. She was married 2 times and neither one of them lasted as long as a car lease. So she's not really the person to tell anybody about what a man needs to be doing as far as paying 100% of the bills just because she's having sex with him. Because most people don't want her. They wanted the one that was in players ball. Okay? So with that being said, Brothers, remember that worth and value are two different things. Sisters, remember worth and value are two different things. Worth is money when it comes to women. Value is femininity, submission, love, uplift, and domestic duty, and being a mother to your children. That's worth to a man, okay? So we got that clear. That being said, y'all, I hope y'all like the content. As always, tell me your thoughts. Tell me, what do you think, ladies? Do you think the man should be in charge of paying 100% of the bills? Fellas, do you think you should be paying 100% of the bills? And if so, that's cool. I mean, like I said, in the affirmative, men want to do that. So we should strive for that. But I will tell you, as a man, you better be paying more than 50%. You better try to be paying at least 70%, or you are going to have a combative household. Especially if the woman is working and she's paying the bills with you. It's just the way it's going to go. All right. But with that being said, brothers, hope you like the content. Continue to subscribe, continue to follow, comment, share, keep it going. And remember, most of all, that the black man can. And if you ain't know, you better ask somebody. Peace.